Hi, this is Peter with Making Sales Simple, and I wanted to personally invite you to the Shed Sales Summit this September in Knoxville, Tennessee. First of all, we're going to have some speakers come in that are motivational, but also knowledge driven. So one of the things they're going to teach you is about marketing. And as we look around in this shed industry, there's all kinds of people talking about marketing, but this guy has a proven track record. Steve Robinson will be joining us in Knoxville, Tennessee. You do not want to miss him. He is known for creating the Cows campaign for the Chick-fil-A brand, and he will be speaking to us. Make sure you get your tickets at ShedSalesSummit.com. You won't want to miss it this September in Knoxville.
Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the Simply Shed Talk Live, where we come to you live from the shed industry. I'm coming to you live today from the new and improved Simple headquarters. And I see Peter is joining us from somewhere
the mobile
special.
Headquarters. The mobile headquarters. This is the mobile Simple truck. You know, we're cutting across the center of the state of Florida, driving here and coming to you live.
Yes, that's the point of a live show is the show does not stop. Whether you're driving to Disney World or you're actually working in the
Disney
office.
Attire. Well, I got my work shirt on here, but underneath it's something else.
Absolutely. We all know people like that, special people. But Peter, we're going to have to get you something for your headliner that's like a backdrop or something. We'll have to get you like a simple logo or the Shed Talk logo for the top of your...
I like it. Right there. You put it right there on that part. It would go in perfectly, and that way I can do it anytime I'm driving with no shame.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. But really quickly, before we get too far in, of course, this is a live show, and this is all about you guys in the shed industry. So there's a couple ways you can do that. If you're watching on YouTube on the Simply Shed Talk, the new Simply Shed Talk Facebook page, or the group, there's a link you can click there. It'll actually bring you up on stage. And you can join the conversation with us, show your face, let people know who you are, what you do, maybe how you can help the shed industry or get help from the shed industry. Or you can simply just comment on any of the posts you're watching. We'll see those comments live. And then if you don't want to do any of that, you want to be more private, you can email Andrew@makingsalessimple.com, or you can text me at 352-440-0786. You can text us your questions. But today, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that we have going on here at Simple. And that is, of course, we are growing our brands, our platform. And so we're in the process of bringing some people onto our team. And of course, if you're like me, it's always a big deal bringing somebody on to represent your brand. And so it's kind of hard to make that decision on who to bring in, what values do they have. And so I was kind of going over a list, and this is what I talked a little bit to Peter about. And you guys are welcome to jump in. Hopefully this helps you guys, but we'd love to hear your input on, the process that you use to bring somebody onto your team. But some points, like if you could create the perfect person, what would that be?
Well, he wouldn't look like me, probably.
He would probably be at the office. I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean, step number one.
Don't be late. Don't be late. That is definitely a really good trait of anybody who is in leadership. Let's just say I could have stayed home and been on my office computer from home, but I'm headed across state to do some business. So,
Peter, this is not COVID. Nobody works from home anymore. What did Elon Musk say? Get back to work or get a new job or something. Somebody said that.
I don't know who said that, but you have to drive places to get there. And going back to leadership, I think you've hit it on the head there. We're looking for people that have the leadership qualities, and also the mentality. I think that's huge. One of the things I've seen in shed lots is you have a great leader, let's just say, who owns a shed lot, but he can only do so much. That's, he's only one person. But then you have salespeople that you hire, and they can be either a great asset or they can be a detriment to your company. I know you're talking about leadership here, but I'm kind of putting that down across the board.
So it's not necessarily leadership, but like I'm trying to create a list of what would that perfect person be, and then we can use this when we're interviewing to like kind of go off of. And I'll give you an example here real quick. One is they need to be a learner, and so that would be the characteristics of that. Would be they ask questions, they don't pretend to know, they watch successful people, they read, listen, and grow. And so the way you would ask that is in the interview, are they like, we've all interviewed this person that's like, they know everything, and even though they've never been in the industry, they know how it works, and that's a red flag, right? So you kind of reverse those questions, and you have a little checklist. Back when I used to be hiring a lot of people all the time, I created a checklist for furniture industry on questions that I would ask because I was wanting to see the answer, and I would kind of grade them on my little sheet that I made. And I kind of want to make one for this industry, and hopefully you guys can help us out with this. But, ask questions. And so you ask them, what do you know about the industry? And, if they've never been in the industry, the correct answer would be nothing, but I've noticed this on your shed lot, or I've seen this on the way here, or I looked this up on YouTube. And so I would call that the learner. Like, are they a learner? We've all had the good people. They might be good, but if they know everything, they're not going to be good.
Right. If they're not willing to take direction at the very beginning, even in your interview process, I'd say that's a red flag. Don't hire that person.
Right. The next on my list is they study the customer. And so a good salesperson, is going to when the doorbell rings, like I'm at the outside here, we have the little rumble strip, whatever it's called, where they drive over and it makes a noise.
Driveway sensor.
The driveway sensor, whatever it's called. The first instinct when
that
goes off. What?
We have a little break in there to let people know the ones that you get with the electronic eye where it senses when motion or anything like that. How many of you, this is just a little break here, how many of you have gotten totally annoyed with hearing that thing going ding dong, and you look outside and there's nobody? Maybe a dump truck drove by or something like that, and it just did a false alarm. One of the things that I would say that's going to help you cause less annoyance is you can get a driveway sensor that is a mechanical driveway sensor. I'm sorry guys, we're doing a little break here for, I don't even know the name of the company, but this is a pet peeve of mine. There is a hose basically you lay across the driveway, and when a vehicle drives over that into your parking lot or into your place there, it's going to alert you that somebody's come onto your lot. So make sure you get one of those. And sorry, Andrew, going back to what you were saying.
No, that's great. I ran it over this morning. I ran over it. That way there's no false alarms. But my point, back to the point, was when that alarm goes off, if somebody's in the interview, if they are a customer-focused person, the first thing they're going to do is look around. Like, who's helping that customer? And I was doing an interview recently, and that happened, and the other salesperson was busy. And they're like, hey, if you need me to, I'll go help that customer. And I didn't tell him, but I'm like, dude, you're hired. Not necessarily like that, but I was thinking that in my mind, like, they have to be a student of the customer, learning that customer. And ways you could ask that question is, give me some examples of previous customers that you've had that have stuck out in your mind. If they say, well, I really can't think on the top of my head. They're probably not a student of the customer. If they're a student of the customer, that they would have stories. We all have stories of that customer, that was a crazy experience, or we went above and beyond, or the customer was mad, and we helped get that customer, back on track. I mean, just ask Peter Miller. He could talk to you for days about customers. That, I was talking to him this morning on the way here, and he was telling me about some guy that, he talks to randomly. Like, how did you even know this person? He's like, well, I don't know how we know them. From a long time ago. I'm like, okay. But Peter is a student of the customer. And so the other trait with that would be they understand what the customers want or are thinking. And so don't be, scared to do like role playing in your interview. I've learned that this really helps. Instead of just having an interview like, are you available every day? What day are you available? Okay, like the standard interview. Walk them on the lot, and the generic, sell me this pen. All that is a very generic statement is like, hey, tell me some information about this shed and see what they say. Obviously, they're not going to know anything about it, but you can look at, I was at a shed lot a couple days ago, and I was there visiting them for just saying hi and stopping by. And a customer came in. There was multiple customers there, and I was on the front porch on my phone. And so, like, it's just not in my nature. I can't let a customer just like look at me because they think I work there. And so I'm like, hey, I'll call you back with the phone. I'm like, hey, can I help you while you're waiting for them? And so I had no idea about these sheds. Okay. I know about sheds, but I don't know anything about their, like, specifically that shed. And so customer told me what they're looking for. It's very simple. Okay, let's go look at them. Because what I was doing is just occupying them until, until that next salesperson was available. And so I walked with that customer for probably 20 minutes, but I didn't know anything about the sheds. But I was just asking, what are you looking for? I'm looking for a front. Okay, I see one right over here. And then I went inside and was trying to figure the tag out, where to figure. Oh, the size. I got it. Yep, this is a 12 by 20. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's got 2 windows, the man door, 2x4 studs, 16-inch on center. But I didn't know anything about the sheds, but I could see that. And so, don't be, nervous about doing that with your candidate.
Right.
I know Peter's laughing at me.
Right. I am, because you're saying it, and I hear you just doing that. That same thing. You would do exactly like that. And it's just, that's the thing. It's like the person walking on the lot, they don't know that. But then think about what that did for the salesperson. It occupied that person. That person that would have walked out and left felt like they were being taken care of, which they were. You were occupying the time. You could transfer that information right over to that salesperson and let them take the sale from there. But also, you were stepping into a leadership or a role that you didn't have to, but because of that leadership mentality, you're not going to just let that person walk away. You're gonna go capture that person before they leave, and even though it doesn't help you, you're going to help somebody else in that moment. So when you're hiring somebody, if they don't have the ability to do that, especially when they're in the leadership side of things, you might.
There we go. We're back.
You might want to. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're back. We lost service there for a second. But anyways, that kind of goes into my next one, Peter, is on my list I have is the problem solver. And that kind of ties into what I just said. There was a problem, there's a customer. And of course I don't work there, and I told the customer that, like, hey, I'm just here visiting, but let me help you in the meantime. What are you looking for? I wasn't telling him stuff that I didn't know, like, yeah, of course, yeah, we'll use it. Inch thick plywood, because I didn't know. But I could just point out the obvious. You can find, if you can look at the sticker and see the size. You can see, you're just letting the customer talk. That all it is in customer relationship is you're just almost using psychology to figure out to get the question back to them. And I remember when I went and briefly worked for the state in the the juvenile prison or whatever it was called. They taught you that is, just it's just when you're talking to these kids, you just the psychology of it is, you ask them in 2 or 3 different ways the same question, and it's the same way with the customer is to get to know what they really want. So that's the problem solver, and that is again when you're role playing is what are they trying? What are they saying? Are they trying to solve somebody's problem? Are they a problem solver, or every time an issue comes up, they're going to be calling you? Because we all know we have those people. And again, this is if you had the perfect person. So if somebody doesn't meet some of these requirements, it doesn't mean like, oh, yep, they're out. But you kind of get away your decision on more of statistics versus just like what you think of that person for 15 minutes.
Right.
And hopefully, I know we're rambling a lot. Hopefully this helps you guys, but I want to hear from you guys. Email me, like if you have a interview questions, I would love to see that. And I'll share you with mine when I make it as well. But that's all about this whole industry is everybody helping each other, become better, get better experiences, and just make the industry better as a whole.
Yes. And I think about, is it coming through?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think about it. We were talking with, was Lloyd Martin up there in Westwood Sheds in South Carolina. And I thought it was interesting how they talked about their hiring process and bringing in somebody else to ask the same question and things like that on the second interview or something like that. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to break through some of the facade that's put up and find out what the real true, what that person is made up of. And I think that's a huge part of it is honesty. If somebody's not going to be honest, that's a red flag for me too. They're out. If they're not going to represent your company honestly, then that's just my personal take on it. You don't want them to represent that, but that's some of the input that we've heard from others in the industry, and then what we do ourselves in our companies. So hopefully some of this stuff has helped for you guys, and I know Andrew has got more things to say on that because we go through different criteria, and we start off and we look at and evaluate how that person works and how they operate, because each person is going to run a little bit differently.
Alrighty, well, a little side note, we've got a special guest with us. I'm going to bring you here in just a second. We have Tyler from Newfound Solutions. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Another busy morning, right?
Yeah. Hey,
driving across the state.
Kind of what we're talking about kind of ties in a little bit, Tyler. If I seen on Facebook, you guys had a big party and did not invite me. But it looked like a lot of fun. You had I think it was called Dealer Retreat. Is that what it was called?
Yep. About every 2 or 3 years, we do a big dealer retreat. We bring up a lot of the dealers, manufacturers and stuff. And we try and do something like fishing and a family day. We do a couple big barbecues and stuff. And it's a good time to, see everybody, meet everybody. It's good conversations, good fellowship. And we look forward to doing that. Like I said, about every 2 or 3 years, we try and schedule something. This year we were up in Michigan, and we fished Lake Michigan. We did a lot of walleye fishing. It was a lot of fun. Had a couple family days, and again, we did a couple barbecues. 2 years ago, we went to Lake Cumberland in Kentucky and did striper fishing down there, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, many more to come, I'm sure. It's a good time.
Okay.
I'm going to put in. You need to come to Florida and go gator hunting next.
I wouldn't mind signing up for that.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I seen the pictures on Facebook. It looked like a lot of fun. So you said it was a 3-day event?
Yeah, yeah, we were there for
Wow.
3 days, and when we were in Lake Cumberland 2 years ago, it was also a 3 day event. And it's just again, it's good to get everybody together, and everyone kind of gets to talk and run ideas by each other, and it's good for fellowship. And of course, everybody's in the industry, so they can bounce ideas off each other, and it's a good time. So. Also, the other aspect is getting away from work for 2 or 3 days and getting some downtime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That networking time and that downtime are really important. Um,
Correct. Uh-huh.
I, I think the networking side of things is so overlooked in this industry, but networking has given so many opportunities to myself. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you could attest to that yourself, Tyler.
Of
Um,
course, of course.
how's I was curious how things are going. You guys are Newfound Solutions. How many? Tell us a little bit about you guys and maybe our listeners, and see what
Yeah,
maybe it's something they would be interested in.
of course. So Newfound Solutions, of course, we kind of rebranded here a couple years ago. We were Newfound Rentals. And as we're more in the industry, we've changed to Newfound Solutions, which just kind of gives more of an opportunity for dealers and manufacturers. We offer quite a few different things other than just rent own now. Of course, RTO Smarts out there. Newfound Solutions obviously does the rent to own. There's a few other things, web-based stuff that we help do. So there's a lot of different aspects of Newfound Solutions right now, and things have been really good. I feel like we've been really busy the last few years, and it's been great. We're just like everybody else, we're working and working and working, and getting through the weeks and the days and the years. So, but yeah, Newfound Solutions is been around for quite a long time. Yeah, we started out as the main rent own company, and now, of course, we're doing a lot of different things.
Yeah, I know I've seen online some of the stuff where you guys have done some metal structures, maybe some sheds and things there in the local Kansas area. Um, have you noticed? I know one of the big things on Facebook is the price up increase on steel buildings going up, and how that's affecting sales and things like that. What have you seen from your side?
Yeah, so personally, I own a few dealer places here in Wichita, Kansas, where I'm at, called Kansas Outdoor Structures. I do the sheds, the carports, the steel buildings, all that stuff. Our steel prices, I feel like here in my area, have been able to stay steady. But I will say, it's slowed down a little bit here the last probably 3 or 4 months. So I don't know if my manufacturers are holding off on raising, steel prices yet or what, but I feel like right now we're on the edge of maybe raising them up a little bit, but we're going to see how the next 30 or 60 days play out before we actually do that here in my local area.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you guys? Are you guys dealing with some price increases?
So we have price increase coming up July 1 from one of our
Uh-huh.
manufacturers. And so honestly, we haven't seen what that's going to be like just yet.
Yeah.
So I haven't had to experience it just yet. I know that there's a lot of online dealers, and they sell across the whole United States, and they're trying to make a living. I understand that, but sometimes it makes it a little bit harder for a brick and mortar to compete with some of the pricing when they go to huge discounts, or cutting down on whatever that commission would be. But I think if prices are going up from manufacturers, those discounts are going to evaporate away, I would imagine, the online sales community.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there'll always be those. I mean, obviously, if you guys have seen and I've seen, I mean, over the years, there's more and more of those. Everyone can kind of sell anywhere. And yeah, I see a lot of that here in my area.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the one thing with a brick and mortar location. I think online sales for sheds and for steel buildings is definitely going to go up, especially with the younger generation being willing to buy without seeing it in person. But I still think there's going to be at least a good portion of people that are willing to not buy online, and they want to come in, and they want to shake your hand, they want to look you in the eye, and they want the purchase from somebody that they know and trust, not just over a computer screen or a camera.
Yeah, yeah. I think it works both ways. I mean, I think we've seen a lot of success with people doing online sales. But yeah, I do think there's still a lot of people that want to come and shake somebody's hand and actually put their hands on something. So it's definitely a mixed market, but it seems to work for whoever's doing whatever. It seems to be working both sides, obviously.
So I got to ask this question. I
Uh-huh.
hear that the Chiefs are moving from Missouri to Kansas. Is this correct?
That is true. That is true. So,
Okay.
yeah, Kansas City, Kansas is going to get the Chiefs. So they're going to build a
Nice.
brand new stadium and everything like that. So we'll see what
All right.
happens. I know there's a little bit of
So,
I'd say maybe disappointed by the state of Missouri, because now there's going to be a whole stadium just sitting up there empty. So hopefully they'll figure that out. But yeah, Kansas is Kansas. We're excited that they're coming here and they'll actually be in the state.
Are you a Chiefs fan?
I am, of course. You live close enough to them, you got to be. I don't want to talk about last season, but before was pretty good. Yeah,
I
yeah,
well, my wife is a huge Chiefs fan. So
yeah.
when they were good, I heard about it a lot. Last year, not so much.
Yeah. Last year was pretty quiet, pretty quiet last year. Yeah, Kansas is getting. I don't know if people are more excited for the Buckies that's coming in up there, or the Chiefs moving over. So both of them are big news for us, big Kansas people. So
Yeah, so Peter's wife is a big Kansas City fan, like a big fan, and Peter is a Bucks fan. So whenever they play each other, you just got to remember, text Peter Miller. So somebody's either happy or mad, either one of them. But they're both really big fans of each team. So
yeah,
when they play each other, you just remember, text Peter Miller.
just poke the bear, right?
Yep.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. How are things in Florida and stuff? Are they going pretty good? You guys staying busy? I know this is kind of your little bit of a slower time, right? This time of the year when it gets hot.
Well, it's a little bit different. I think our strategy changes when it comes to sales.
Yeah.
When it's the winter months, we have a lot of smaller sheds that go out because we have a lot of snowbirds that come into the area.
Yeah.
And so you have mobile home parks, you have RV parks, you have somebody who needs to store a golf cart, something like that in the winter months. So the sales of smaller sheds go up in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But during the summertime, it seems like it's a tendency for larger buildings, 14 by 30s, 14 by 40s, 16 by whatever, 60s. We can go as big as that. And those are going to sell, it seems like, better in the summertime. And it's maybe not necessarily to an individual, but more to maybe a businesses. Because here there's a lot of agriculture as well. We used to be oranges and orange groves and things like that, but depending on what part of the state you're in, there is still a lot of agriculture that's going on, whether it's watermelons or whether it's corn, different things like that. And some of those big companies are buying bigger sheds to make mobile offices out there in the field, and so on and so forth. So to answer your question, it's maybe a little bit overall as volume, but I think the ticket price goes up during the summer on the actual sale.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I've talked to quite a few dealers here in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks, because I'm kind of coming across the same thing. Our sales are up, but a lot of our buildings are smaller buildings this year. And I kind of feel like the guys that I've talked to are kind of in the same boat. They're selling a lot of 8 by 12s, 10 by 12s, 10 by 14 and under. And again, I've talked to a few people. I kind of feel like we're kind of all in the same boat. There's not as many, for us and me personally, there's not as many 14 wides going out this year, which is kind of different than usual. So, yeah.
I think in December, it's going to be interesting because here in Florida, we have a law going into effect that ADUs, accessory dwelling units, are going to be allowed in any city or county across the whole state of Florida.
That's great.
Up to this point, it's been somewhat limited on that, and so I think that's gonna have an effect on some of the bigger, finished out units and things like that. So excited to see what comes after December 1st there.
Yeah,
and how we can market.
Yeah, that'd be a really good opportunity. That's very impressive. They're doing that.
Yeah, we call it the free state of Florida. We're getting some more freedom.
Well, it's just because Florida is becoming like California. House prices are just soaring. It's becoming unaffordable, and they're just building everywhere in Florida. And so that's good, but it's not always good for the shed industry because there are not many houses are coming anymore. Everything is subdivisions. So subdivisions usually don't allow sheds, or they're 3 feet from their neighbor. And so in the I'm kind of up near the Orlando market, the greater Orlando area. And it is just, I've been looking to move a little closer to that area, and you cannot find a house that's not in a subdivision. So I'm not an HOA kind of guy. And it's almost impossible. It's just subdivisions everywhere. So that's kind of why they're doing it, is because we are becoming they're Californian, our Florida. To put it in the Florida man words. Yep.
Yeah, everyone's growing, everyone's expanding. We here in Wichita, we've got tons and tons of duplexes, and the same deal. I mean, they can't keep up with the housing market here either. It's they're building houses left and right, and they're sold before they even get the foundation poured. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And the price tag. Go ahead, Andrew.
I was saying that it's the same thing here. I live in Sebring, and it's just on my way to work. I think I passed 22 houses today. They're being built. Just
really
crazy. And I only drive 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I don't know. And again, back to the price of it. I don't understand how somebody goes and buys a brand new house for $350,000, $400,000. That's a lot of money, especially for somebody starting out.
Yeah, you can get a really nice shed for around $40,000, $50,000. I'm just gonna say.
Yep.
Really nice.
Put it in the backyard, and you're good to go.
Back when I first. Go ahead, Tyler.
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say it's very interesting we're talking about that. I've got a couple people here local in my market that we've actually been looking at doing like a 900 to 1,100 square foot, basically semi-tiny home, trying to keep the price tag under, I think we're trying to keep it under like 210, so it's somewhat affordable. So we've been working on that here the last 60 days, and hopefully we'll be able to do something, mid-November by the time these lots get approved and get platted and plotted. So we'll see if we'll be able to do that. I'm also concerned that, our lumber price is going to go up, they're going to go down, so we still have 6 months to figure that out. But just getting that price point, under 250 in our area is a pretty big deal for us.
Yeah. Well, I would say that the shed industry has a very bright future, and I'm excited to be along for the ride. Tyler, I do appreciate you hopping on here, man. You're welcome to come on anytime. We come Thursdays, 10 a.m. live. And you can do it from the car just like me if you want, or you can do it from the office there. But definitely do appreciate the input and what Newfound Solutions is doing and RTO Smart in the industry. And you guys keep on killing it, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon.
Very good, sir. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the invite. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.
See you later.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget, we have the new Simply Shed Talk Facebook page. You can go there, like that, turn the notifications on. You will get notified when we go live, so you can join the conversation live, watch it live, join live, comment live, and kind of get your name out there or ask a question. It's all about what we can do to help the industry grow better together. But thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week.
Next week.